Good morning, good morning. How's it going, everybody? Nice to see you. Nice to have you with me. Wow, markets are closed today. Happy July 4th to all my American friends out there. Stock markets are closed, but I wanted to go over the trade that I took yesterday and the missed trade. Oh my gosh, there was such a lovely trade on gold. Lovely, lovely trade on gold that I was looking at. I wanted to pull the trigger on it, but I was already in the USCAD long trade, and I was like hesitating because the risk to riches challenge is supposed to be one trade at a time, risking 25% of the capital. So I was playing that over my head, how I'm going to do that, and then I didn't take the trade. But we're going to go through that trade today. I'm going to show you what I was looking at, why it was a good trade setup. And yeah, we're going to take a look at the overall currency market and look at what is taking place right now. So thanks for joining me, everybody, on this wonderful Friday. It's going to be gorgeous outside, nice and sunny. Really looking forward to getting out there today. All right, so first things first, US CAD. So it ended up moving in our favor. It just wanted a little dippity do before taking off. So the idea was for price to come inside this area of demand here and rally to the upside, okay? And the reason why we were trying to capture this move was because we had institutional demand here, and there was going to be a move to the upside. Demand was being contacted, so there was going to be some buying. And so we broke it down to the 15-minute time frame, and we saw the buying starting to come into play. The only thing is that we had news coming out. We had NFP being released at 8:30, and I really wanted this move to take place before NFP came out, because sometimes around NFP you get some strange movement, things that are out of the ordinary. And that's exactly what took place here. So let's show you what I'm talking about. So first things first, we had price coming down. All right, we had price coming down, contacting the area of demand. And it wasn't the greatest area of demand, so it wasn't the greatest move to the upside, and RSI was extremely weak, as you can see. So there was no trade signal there, okay? It wasn't good for me. So I left it alone. I waited for it to come back down, and then as you can see, we had this move to the downside and a slow move to the upside. It wasn't the greatest signal, I'll give you that. It wasn't the greatest signal, but I knew that there was a very good chance that we were going to get the rally up on that. The 3-to-1 move, I was actually looking at the interactive brokers. Here it is. This is the one, the chart that I was looking at right here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is what I was looking at. Price came back down. We had the drop, the base, and the rally momentum, all right? And so that was our signal. I entered into a long position here, stop loss below this low here, aiming for a move here. That's it, okay? And what ended up happening? Price dropped to here and then did the rally. So it would have been a really great trade. Would have worked out perfectly. Should it had not dropped. And like I said, right before NFP, you know, this is what happens, right? It moves in different ways, and so be it. That's what happened. So we got stopped out of that one, and now I'm waiting for a new signal to be produced. It could be on this chart, maybe not. We'll see. But another thing that I was looking at that suggested this was going to move to the upside was the dollar, okay? The dollar was contacting a fresh area of demand here, which suggests that the dollar is going to rally. All right, so with that being in line with a rally and the US CAD hitting that demand, this is the reason why I was looking for a long position, okay? Now at the same time, since we're seeing the dollar hitting demand and there being evidence to suggest that the dollar is going to move higher, that would suggest that gold was going to move lower. Now, I was looking at this chart, okay, and I had this really nice area of supply right here. Right here. The only thing is price fell short of hitting it. But I did see this type of price action here. Okay, rallied up, came down, rallied up. So I suspected that a base was being created here, a foundation for a move to the downside. So I took it down to the 1 hour time frame. Was it the 1 hour time frame? No, sorry, 15-minute time frame. And this is what we had. Okay. So I was looking at what was taking place here at these highs. I looked at the 1 hour time frame initially, right here, and this is what I was seeing. Nothing really special, nothing really stuck out, okay? So I brought it down to the 15-minute time frame, and this is what I saw. Okay, I saw this situation. Right? So I saw that we had institutional supply created here. Price came up and respected it. Right, so that was telling me that short-term selling was in play by the institutions. So that was an important thing, okay? Short-term selling was in play. I wanted to focus on that. All right. So for there to be a continued move to the downside, this demand would have to be removed because this was demand as price was rallying up into that short-term area of supply. So I wanted to see that area get taken out, and it got taken out. And lo and behold, what was created? An institutional demand zone right here. Okay. And so this is the zone that I was watching for an entry into a short position because if short-term selling was taking place from here, and they removed short-term buying and came in with more short-term selling, then my thinking was if they rallied price up to that area, price was going to drop. All right. I hesitated. I didn't set up my trade. And then lo and behold, this is what I end up seeing taking place. All right. Price rallied up exactly to that area of supply, reversed and shot down like that. Okay. So that would have been an easy 3-to-1 trade on that one. So anyways, missed out on that one, but it played out to perfection. And now we move on. All right. So we go to the 4 hour time frame, and this is what's happening. It came down off that area, and it created an emotional wick down here at these lows, and now it's starting to turn back up. All right, so what's next? What is next? Well, let's not forget that the US dollar has contacted some institutional demand. Okay, on the 4 hour time frame, we had a really quick spike up through this area of supply. And it looked like at one point that they were just going to shoot price right through and right up through that area of supply, creating some demand down below. But that's not what happened. Okay, the banks came back, brought price back under control of the supply, and now we have that area of supply that is currently in play. So short-term selling has been taking place. All right, we got the medium-term buying from down here, and now we got the short-term selling coming down from here. All right. So for this to continue to the upside, we need very short-term buying to come back into play. And so this is the 4 hour time frame, right? We need very short-term buying to come back into play. So for us to locate short-term buying, we can go down to the 1 hour time frame and take a look at whether or not there's any areas of demand. So I see that there is some demand down here, but this was to bring price up to contact supply. So supply came into play. Here's the emotional trading by the retail traders. They're coming down. Let's take a look if this imbalance took out any type of areas of importance for us. Rally base, I wouldn't necessarily draw a trend line like this. I don't think it's the greatest trend line, but there might be an imbalance here of importance. You see that? Okay, which means that there might be something here. Okay, you see how we contacted this area here? Okay, so this might be on the verge of making a move to break out of that supply. Okay, if this demand zone holds, this area will likely break and we'll head much higher on the charts. Okay. And if we look back at the 4 hour time frame, where could price go to? I mean, there's room for it to go back all the way up towards this 98.85 area. 98.85. So that's all the way up here. Okay. So that's a big move if that area gets taken out right here. Okay, if this supply gets taken out. So let's just do this so that it doesn't show up on that other chart. There you go. So that looks pretty good, right? So if this demand holds, this supply will be removed and we'll see a move higher. So with that being said, if we're looking for a trade, let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to the Euro US dollar, right? So that means weakness, right? That means weakness on the euro if we're seeing strength in the dollar. And sure enough, we have institutional demand here. That came into play. And price rallied. And then let's take a look at the 1-hour chart here and see if there's anything that we see here. Nothing really. I do see this really nice imbalance here, though, right here, okay? This area. So this would suggest to me that if this area holds, we are likely going to see price drop towards this area, okay? And if this breaks, move even further. So we initially had a trade here. If you guys remember, I took a short trade here on the Euro US dollar. This was a risk to riches challenge trade where we were aiming for 3-to-1. We got that. Price ended up coming back exactly to that same zone on the 1-hour time frame. And now we see the big drop from here, okay? As you can see, price rallied up to this imbalance, respected it, and dropped. And now it's back up to this area, and now it's starting to drop again. So this leads me to suspect that we're likely going to be getting a drop here on price, okay? So let's keep an eye on that moving forward. And yeah, let's do that so it doesn't show up on the 4-hour time frame. There we go. Yeah, okay. Let's not forget that we still have daily supply that I showed you in play, okay? So over time, this is suggesting that we're going to see a move to the downside from this area, okay? I still got the long trades in here. Still got those 2 long trade signals that I gave out to you guys still there in play. But I think a short-term move to the downside is likely what's going to take place, okay? And last but not least, let's take a look at gold and see what's going on here. So gold fell short of hitting that area, started to make a move to the downside, and let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Looks like there's a strong imbalance that caused price to drop there, and it looks like we are reacting from this area. So it's pretty much the same thing across the board with imbalances being contacted. And should we see this this area hold, it could definitely bring a move to the downside. I don't see a really good trade setup here. I would much rather be in from the highs and not be getting in here because it's already made its move to the downside. So I'm going to wait and be patient with this one. There are some trades setting up. In fact, I just entered into another trade. That one I shared with members. I will share it with you guys afterwards, but that's one of the perks of being a member with us at White Oak FX. So if you want to join us and you want to get the trades live as I am posting them, you have access to that, okay? But that's it. Do your homework today, guys. The stock market is closed. The perfect time to do a review of the markets. I've been posting a lot of trade ideas on my social media. Go to Twitter. Okay, and you'll see over the last few days, I posted a lot of video analysis there for you guys. Take advantage of that, all right? Take advantage, because there's going to be some trades setting up very, very shortly, likely on Monday, okay? Because the markets are closed today. Likely on Monday when the markets open back up, I'm going to be entering in some new trades. So watch those videos and see. And if you want everything laid out for you, my trades, my entries, my stop losses, my targets, all that stuff, again, whiteoakfx.com. Come and join us. All right, folks. Very good. I will leave you with that. I think I covered quite a lot. Silver hasn't been doing that much. It's just been holding those highs. It's not giving me the drop that I'd like for my entry into a long position. So I'll have to wait for it to move up and remove supply zones, and then I'll take trades based off of that if that's what's going to take place. All right? That's it, ladies and gents. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Friday. thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. As always, hit the like and subscribe. You know the whole drill. But likes are appreciated. If you like the sessions that I do for you, just show some appreciation by hitting the like. That's all I ask. And that way other people will see that. You found interest in it. You thought it was worthwhile. Hopefully they will find it as well. All right. That's it, ladies and gents. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you guys soon.